About 25 years ago, he was the second pick in the draft out of Arizona. He won a natty there back in the late 90s, played for a decade and a half in the NBA, made a couple of finals appearances, and the last time the Kings were really special, Mike Bibby was their guard on a loaded team. Actually, we talked about this earlier, one of the better NBA teams that did not get to a final in my lifetime, a really loaded team. So you watch Sacramento, and it's interesting. Mike, they've got some components of Golden State. Is that a really smart lead guard who's great late, a coach that's been around the league, a Steve Kerr, Mike Brown. They've got a tough guy down low, Draymond Green, Sabonis, and they draft and develop the last couple of years pretty well. Do you believe this team is now ready to move past Golden State? Can they close this thing out?
I think they can. I think they need to get at least one game in Oakland. I think if they get one game in Oakland, I think they could come back home and close it out. But if the Warriors get two games out there, now it's a 3-game series, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on the Kings in order to try to finish them off.
Yeah. What do you make of AaronFox? Have you liked him first day in the league? What does he remind you of anybody?
I love his game. Just his athleticism, how quick he is. He kind of has that dog in him that that a lot of people don't have. He has a lot of heart, and he's not scared to fail. I wish he would be a little bit more aggressive and trying to get to the basket and not just waiting till the fourth quarter. But however they coach him. But I would like him to be a little bit more aggressive.
Draymond Green. I've said I grew up. And the 70 Blazers had Maurice Lucas, and the Pistons had Bill Laimbeer. My Sonics had Lonnie Shelton, Dennis Rodman. There's always been a tough guy. Charles Oakley. I like tough guys. Dale Davis for the Pacers, guys you didn't want to mess around with. I think Draymond's a defensive catalyst. I think he's a great screen setter. He's a great passer. He can handle the ball. Do you think the league – do you think he gets knocked out of Game 3? What do you think the league does with him?
I think getting kicked out the game was enough. His past might come back up just for that reason, and that might be the only reason I think that he'll get suspended. But I don't think what he did warranted a game suspension. It shouldn't be done. There's no place in basketball for that. But I think getting kicked out of that game was enough. And I think the Warriors definitely need him in order to get to win.
Yeah. I want to move to Phoenix Clippers. I was bothered. I like Monty Williams a lot, but KD had one shot in the last 6.5 minutes. Is that on Chris Paul? Is that on Kevin Durant? Or is it on Monty Williams? If you're the point guard and you had Kevin Durant next to you, you're not going 6.5 minutes with one shot. Who's got to come through there?
I think I was talking about that earlier. I think KD's still trying to. I think it's Devin Booker's team, and being traded and going to a new team, and trying to fit in and don't want to step on any toes. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I think that's how it goes. I know it's Devin Booker's team, and everybody thinks it's Devin Booker's team, but who they decide who's going to take that shot. You know what I mean? I don't think it's up to Chris Paul. I think maybe Monty brings everybody together and talks to him about it. But he definitely should be shooting more shots in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. The Westbrook is such a unique player. He can be a liability offensively, but he is so athletic. He was so disruptive on the boards, defensively. And I don't even know if you ever played with a player like that, but I thought he really got into the Suns' head. I thought he got into KD's head, into Booker.
Yes.
What do you make? His game, Mike, you had a nice mid-range jumper. He doesn't have great hands. He's not a great shooter. What do you make of Westbrook? Would you want him as a teammate?
Yeah, definitely would. His energy, I think, changed the whole game. His defense on KD made it hard for KD. He only took 15 shots, but you can see every time he's looking to score, he gets in the paint, he's looking to pass. And, he shoots 3 for 19, and you still win a game that you're not supposed to win. And he does it by doing other things, defense, and effort play right there. I mean, it shows how much harder he is, and just look at his excitement. I mean, that's the type of player you want to play with.
Yeah. So I've always had this belief, Mike, that even Steph Curry's two best teams, KD was on it, that when the playoffs arrive, it's a wing big man league because the refs swallow the whistle. You see Sabonis's value for Sacramento. Is that nothing against Ja Morant? He weighs 174 pounds. I always said, I love Steve Nash. I love Derrick Rose. I see how good John Wall is. Ja Morant. They can't be the best guy on the team. You can't build around a 174-pound guy in the postseason. That's my takeaway. I would love to have those guys. But, when Ja got hurt, I'm like, I've seen this over and over. What do you make of Ja Morant's game and where Memphis is going with him? What do you make of that?
I love his game. He's not afraid of anything. And you need that in the playoffs. He's ahead of this snake in Memphis. I think without him, the Lakers have a great chance of moving on. And I don't see anybody that could step up on that team and do the things that he does, day in and day out. But even if he comes back, his shooting hand's going to be in jeopardy. Right. And the teams are going to look at that and see that, okay, let's make him shoot. Let's back up off him. That's right. And see what he could do with that hand. And, if he's not back full, I think the Lakers take that series in maybe 5 games. All right, let's pivot back finally to Sacramento and the Warriors. You said something earlier. If Golden State wins the next 2, it's a 3-game series, and that puts a lot of pressure on the kids. And through my lifetime, you put a young team in a Game 7, and they get really tight. Go back to your career. You were playing the Lakers. Remember, you go back to like a Game 7, and if Golden State wins the next 2, it goes to a Game 7. You tell me, what is a Game 6 or a Game 7 like a closeout game for a young team? It's going to be tough, and that's why I said there's going to be a lot of pressure on them. That's why I think they need to get one in Oakland. In our Game 7 against the Lakers, we kind of, we didn't shoot good. We shot bad from the free throw line. We shot bad from the three-point line, and we still had a chance to win the game. So there's a lot of pressure on you. You got to go out there, and we played at home. So it doesn't matter when it comes to a 3-game series. You got to be able to close them out in those 3 games. Mike Bibby, former NBA guard. Last time the Kings were great, he was part of it. Good seeing you, Mike. Thanks for coming on. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.